What's up, connoisseurs? It's Rod with the POW Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Saturday. Happy Saturday. Hope you're having a great weekend. It's February 8th, and in this video, we're going to do another rapid fire news update, this time from the period February 1st to the 7th. And again, it's not a deep dive detail, it's just a high level overview, and you can check into it more on your own time if you missed it. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future content. Also, you can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And as always, not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. RFK Jr. says he'll defer to the DEA on MJ rescheduling. We'll see what happens there with regards to the DEA. We know we have an interim head, but it's just exactly that, an interim head. So we'll find out whether or not it's temporary or permanent. But overall, there's a lot of skepticism with regards to this agency, and the reason why rescheduling has even been held up in the first place is because of the DEA, which is a bit ridiculous, right? In the name, Drug Enforcement Agency. Why are they the ones making the decision when they should be enforcing it, right? So this is why I hate politics. Everything just bass backwards, but it is what it is. I guess we just have to get there. It's not a matter of if but when, and I think it's going to be a top-down approach, right? It's going to start with the executive branch down, and they're basically just going to get fired, or they're going to be out of a job if they don't, like I said, kind of take what they were told and do what they were told to do by the top down. And I think, the writing's on the wall. We have the president. We had the first ever multi-ticket where, two presidential candidates were both in support of it. One was full blown recreational, right? Wanted to legalize it federally at the recreational level. And then the other side of the aisle wanted to have safer banking, rescheduling, etc. So we're on the right path. Again, it's just it's going to take a little bit more time than anticipated. But again, I've always been very vocal saying that it's going to be more than likely after big tech, crypto, and AI tops out, where MJ goes on to see the biggest bull run and a brand new bull market. And we also have Catch the High Tide. Interesting slogan here. Rising high tide lifts all boats, but Curaleaf launches a reef flower brand in Florida. And this is a premium brand, and if anybody has tried this, please let me know. I know a ton of people love the MSOs, but I rarely hear anybody ever talk about the MSOs brands or products. It's funny how people talk about how much they love the American companies, but I never hear anything about their brands or their products. And quite often when I ask people, what's your favorite brand, what's your favorite product, they can't even tell me. Imagine being like a Warren Buffett and investing in a company like a McDonald's. You never tried their products, right? It's a little silly when you think about it at the end of the day. So I'd love to hear more from the community about these products and the different brands. And if you've tried them, please let me know, because like I said, it's actually astonishing how little I hear about this. Like, I'm in Canada and I'm always doing product reviews, trying different products, and that's partly why I love Tilray so much, is because I'll be buying their products for the rest of my life, right? If you haven't tried the new Blunties, oh my God, those are amazing. The Redecan Blunties, you got to try them out. Actually got a few here for later on this evening, and a couple Molos and a couple edibles as well. So you got the Eddies, Bevies, and Rollies. Tilt Holdings to sell Massachusetts dispensary for $2 million. The MJ tech firm has been shifting away from plant touching operations to focus solely on vapes. And we're really starting to see the differentiation in Canada, and we're starting to see that in the U.S., right? If you look at a lot of under the hood, a lot of these U.S. companies, they're all very similar. There's no real, you got your like Trulieve, it's just focusing on Florida, but realistically beyond that, they're all, and I would say Curaleaf's very differentiated as well. Like, they have their international, they have Northern Green Canada, so they're an LP as well. So the MSO LP, they also have a very strong presence in Europe. So they kind of remind me of a Tilray, but everything else very, very samey in terms of MSOs, right? So we will see that differentiation and price compression and just saturation in the market in the US, and there'll be a ton of mergers and acquisitions set to come as well. More than half of beer drinkers are open to trying MJ-infused beverage alternatives, study shows. So this is music to a name like Tilray's ears, because as you know, they're very much involved in the MJ space. They have their MJ operations, they have their alcohol division, they have their distribution business, and their wellness business. And the fact that they're focusing on craft beer, I think is a huge advantage, because you got names like Sweetwater 420 Pale Ale, you got the Highball Energy, right? All of these brands are very well known and accessible to distribute. Like, they have over 700 distributors, and the fact that they have all of that distribution and those brands already established, once they start to infuse MJ into them, it's going to be it's going to be an enormous opportunity. So I think that, this is not only that though, the craft beer segment itself is on the up and up. It's huge. Like here in Alberta, we call it Alberta for a reason, because there's microbreweries everywhere, right? And I can't say enough good things about craft beer. I think it's very underrated. And eventually you'll have a tap where you can go to a bar and you can, let's say you're on dry January or something like that. You go to a bar and they have an MJ infused alternative on tap, right? So I think we'll get there eventually. It's just we have to be patient. I'm not going to get there overnight. Also, AYR Wellness continues to see upheaval in its executive team. So it first started with the CEO. It continues to operate with an interim CEO, and they recently just removed the COO to the role of president, and the CFO is leaving the company as well. So this is a company, ever since Florida didn't pass Amendment 3, I said be very, very careful on AYR Wellness. I sold my position actually as soon as we had a nice relief rally there after the bounce when Amendment 3 was kiboshed. But I'd be very, very careful with this company. Stephen Cohen just joined the board of Tilray, and it's just a lot of departures, right? CFO, COO, CEO. The company has a lot of debt. Like I said, there's no really, hope that we're going to see Florida anytime soon. It's potentially on the ballot for 2026, but we have some more information here coming soon with regards to Ron DeClown and the Supreme Court. He thinks they're going to reject it. I would just be very careful with a name like AYR. I think the most likely scenario is that they probably end up getting acquired, and I don't think it's going to be very accretive to shareholders. So I just be very, very careful. Again, I'm not trying to pump anybody's bags at my bag, or I'm not trying to talk bad about the company because I sold my position and I want to look good. I could care less. I just want people to be very careful because I see a lot of people bullish on AYR and I can't really understand why. Again, I don't understand like their brands, their products. I haven't heard anything about them, their differentiation. They have a lot of debt, and there's a lot of competition in the markets of which they operate. So I'd just be very, very careful. There's a lot going on here as well. Like I said, with the executive team, that raises some eyebrows. So just be extremely cautious, right? This is your hard-earned money, and you don't want to just be throwing it around in companies that, we don't know for sure have the staying power. So just be very, very selective whenever it comes to these companies in the U.S., especially because we just don't know who the winners and losers are going to be. We have a pretty good idea in Canada, but in the U.S., it's still very much up in the air. Also, moreover on Ron DeClown. So Florida Governor Ron DeSantis predicts that the state Supreme Court will reject new MJ legalization initiative. This guy just hates America, hates the American people, hates Floridians. Like, this guy needs to be voted out. We need to get this guy out of office. This guy is an absolute joke, and I can't even stand his face. I can't even look at him anymore. I can't even stand his name. 88% of America wants this plant legalized in some fashion. And, he was against Amendment 3. And then, when it came to hemp, he was for that. So it's just, I'm at a loss for words. Like, this guy just needs to go. Simple as that. Super Bowl, another opportunity for MJ businesses to boost brand and product awareness. So again, I've been saying for a while now, we're still in the pregame warm-ups. Like, we're not even in the first inning. We're not even in, the first quarter. We need to just realize that this plant, this medicine, not just an alternative to tobacco and smoking and alcohol and drinking, this is medicine, right? And tobacco companies, alcohol companies, they're in the multi-hundreds of billions of dollars in terms of market cap, and MJ companies are going to be right there with them. And in my opinion, could be even more valuable. And again, it's medicine, right? So again, it's not just tobacco. It's not just an alternative to that. It's not just an alternative to recreational, drinking. It's an actual medicine that people take in order to better their lives, whether it be pain, epilepsy, all of these things, right? And there's only more and more data and research being done each and every day. And just imagine the day when we see a Super Bowl ad for an MJ company. It's been over 6 years legal here in Canada at the federal level, and you still can't do traditional advertising, right? But yet when you turn on the TV, it's all you ever see is beer commercials and vodka and alcohol. So again, we're so early, it's not even funny. We'll get there. And I hear people all the time saying, oh, these companies need to turn a profit. These companies need to do X, Y, and Z before they'll ever see any kind of investor attention. That's all bullshit. Excuse my French, but it's bullshit. Look, I really don't understand how people don't understand this. It's sentiment. It's the industry being nascent. it's still federally illegal in the US, right? Some countries offer the death penalty. It's that simple. It doesn't matter about earnings. It doesn't, like you would say, okay, well, Aurora just posted great earnings and the stock skyrocketed. Yeah, but it's still down 99.5% from all-time highs, okay? So most people are underwater. Green thumb, okay? If it's all about earnings, if it's all about fundamentals and numbers, right, and profitability, how come Green thumb is down 60% since April 2024? It's because the sector trades on sentiment and popularity, and right now we're not popular. It's that simple. You don't have to look any further than that, right? Eventually, yes, there will be like a value investing component. But if you want to do value investing, go and buy the S&P 500. Go and buy, 500 different companies in that index. You're going to be way more better off doing a value investing there than the MJ industry, right? There's names that are adjacent to the industry, right? Biotech and things like that don't even consider themselves an MJ company, and their stocks are down 80, 90% plus with great numbers, right? Look at Avicana for AVCN, right? Perfect example. So they're being lumped into that category. And if you're in that category, the MJ space, your stock has been absolutely destroyed, right? So it's that simple. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's call a spade a spade. It's not rocket science. And let's be honest with ourselves and try not to, again, it's just people looking for reasonings. I understand, right? They want to blame somebody. At the end of the day, we're all hitting the buy button. And if you didn't understand that this industry, like it's not get rich quick, right? This industry is still federally illegal in the US. We have nobody else to blame but ourselves, right? If you hit the buy button, that's on you, right? Unless, you got a financial advisor. I highly doubt any financial advisors are telling anybody to buy MJ stocks, right? This is the ground floor opportunity, and you need to understand that and not risk your life savings, be able to save money, be able to buy the dip and dollar cost average, right? Again, not telling you to buy, sell, or hold, but I need to be that voice of reason. I need to tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear, because there's so many people out here just pointing the finger, looking for someone to blame. And at the end of the day, we have to blame ourselves, right? And we have to be real with ourselves and understand that this industry is it's not even the tip of the iceberg. Like the iceberg's barely even visible, right? So again, I'll continue to be that tough love type of person that you're going to find here on YouTube. JetBlue to serve Montauk Brewing Surf Beer Golden Ale on all domestic and international flights, and that would be a subsidiary of Tilray Brands. So this is a great partnership, and it seems like just Tilray is always at the forefront of partnerships, right? Even Jones Soda looking to bring that to Canada. We have some more information on that as well here in just a moment. Trulieve MJ Corp to hold fourth quarter and full year fiscal 2024 results conference call on February 27th, 2025. So we'll continue to monitor those as well. We'll see how they hold up here after Amendment 3 failed, with a lot of probably extra capacity that they didn't need. And I think a name like Cureleaf, I heard that they were doing like 50-60% off sales. So that definitely not going to be great. I would expect some turmoil and some dips in their numbers over the next quarter or two in response to that. Aurora reported its record revenue driven by medical sales growth. The Canadian producer reported a 37% revenue jump and swung to profitability amid international expansion. So if you haven't seen my video, I posted a review of their earnings. I'll have to do one here soon on Canopy, which we'll discuss here in a moment. Yeah, there was something to behold here. Aurora, ever since they switched from an international and medical, they did a pivot. It's been night and day. And I mentioned in that earnings review video that they barely paid any excise tax in Canada, and that has to do with the international medical play. And I think that was a great pivot by the company and focusing on a specific sector, part of the sector, rather than trying to be everything to everybody. So a lot of people still hate the company, but you can't deny those numbers were amazing from the recent report. So shout out to the Aurora team, actually working on having them on the channel as well for an interview at some point soon. Organogram to report first quarter fiscal 2025 results on February 11th, 2025, next week. I'll do my best to get a video out here in the next few days with an earnings prep video. Let me know in the comment section if you'd like to see that. Also, Pennsylvania Governor Shapiro on recreational MJ. Let's get it done. So this is a huge company, state, and a lot of companies are going to be benefiting from that state going legal as well. So we'll continue to monitor that story as it unfolds. Jones Soda taps new leaders and nabs a $5 million credit line. So they have a new CEO and a CFO. I've always been in the camp of thinking that, Jones Soda is probably an acquisition target of Tilray Brands. They partnered with Tilray to bring their Mary Jones into Canada, starting with Ontario and BC. And I think that's very much an acquisition target by Tilray. Company's fairly low market cap, and it has some nice adjacencies and synergies with Tilray. Also, MJ debanking Senate discussion raises hopes for reform and lifting stocks. So there's talks about, MJ and crypto being put together in one bill, whether it be safe banking, something else like a safe harbor and uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ. That could potentially happen as well. But crypto and MJ, imagine seeing a bill on that. And again, I've been a strong believer that we're going to see MJ go on its biggest bull run ever after big tech AI crypto tops out, which has been in an almost 5-year bull market, and MJ's been in an almost 5-year bear market. So that money's going to rotate and go somewhere. And I think it's going to be similar to 2018 when Canada legalized at the federal level. It went on to have its biggest run ever after crypto went into a bear market. IIPR announces fourth quarter 2024 earnings release date and conference call. So that's going to be after close of trading on Wednesday, February 19th, 2025. Also, Tilray Brands, they issued some shares. That was about 21 million shares. The 22 million aggregate principal amount of the company's 5.2% convertible senior notes due June 1st, 2027. And not great. You don't want to see dilution at the all-time lows, but ultimately only 21 million shares, not the end of the world, in my opinion. Tennessee could be next to legalize recreational and medical MJ as dual bills put forward. So that's another state that could go legal in 2025 and beyond. But we'll continue to monitor that. Lost my spot here. That was the Tilray one, Tennessee. Yeah, and you have to remember too, like with Tilray and this dilution, like I understand dilution is not good. We don't want that. We don't want more piece of the pie essentially, and our value to be lower. But you have to realize that there's a reason why companies tap the equity markets, and that's to raise money. And a company that's still not quite profitable yet, they're on the cusp, but they're very reliant on certain things like U.S. legalization, right? So I've been saying for a while now, we need to expect more dilution on Tilray until we start driving profitability, until you start to see real profitability metrics being hit. It's something that we need to be aware of. And the same thing with Canopy Growth. It'll be a long time before they're profitable, in my opinion. But they reported their third quarter fiscal year 2025 financial results. I'll try to get a review video. I streamed the conference call and the earnings call, but they had a huge miss in terms of EPS, but they did beat in terms of revenue. And their stock was down like 25% at the close that day on their earnings. Big disappointment. Also, Aurora enters $27 million supply agreement with SNDL. The agreement for SNDL to supply Aurora with premium flower complements the company's existing relationship. Also, Hawaii, some not so great news here. House kills 2025 MJ legalization bill, continuing blockade on reform. Also, another filing here with Tilray. This time, I forgot to click the link here. This was with regards to a settlement with regards to Aphria. So a successful settlement of Aphria Canadian class action and related individual actions. So the plaintiff had originally sought damages of $875 million Canadian, and the parties agreed on a settlement worth $30 million. So overall, pretty decent turnout there. Going more over into Tilray here. Is Tilray brewing up a revolutionary future beyond MJ? Great article here by L Blog. I've never heard of this before. Shout out to Steve in the Power Group private community who shared this. They do a great synopsis and breakdown here of the company and how it aligns well, the craft beer segment, with their MJ operations, and I couldn't agree more. Also, here it is here. Tilray settles the Aphria lawsuit for $21 million. So 20 million US, 30 million Canadian. That's an investing article just kind of summarizing this. It's kind of the legalese. If you're not a lawyer, essentially it's been dismissed with prejudice, which just means that you can't be sued again for the same thing, which is overall positive. And like I said, seeking $875 million, they only got 30 million. So overall, a net positive. And this was Aphria, right? Which basically Tilray inherited as part of that merger. And Afria was actually one of the only names in the MJ space to hit new all-time highs in the Canadian side, to hit new all-time highs in 2021 before that merger. Interesting enough, but yeah, it was a great article here as well from investing.com. But going in it there, it's Rod with Power Group. Let me know what you think of this news in the comment section below. We'll continue the conversation there. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and we'll see you again on the next video.